When it comes to American performance cars, the name Shelby American is synonymous to performance. And when it comes to Shelby's performance vehicle, the mightiest of them all is this, the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. In this video, we will take a tour of the most powerful Mustang ever built. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Regan and welcome back to another car review. If you're new to my channel, I hope you click that subscribe button for your regular dose of Philippine automotive content. If you're my subscriber already, well, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show after you click that like button. Also, special thanks to Ford Global City for providing the Shelby GT500 to do this review. If you have a need for any Ford, you may head on down here to Ford BGC and check them out. For any inquiries, you may contact the person in my pinned comment below. Shelby American has been making performance cars since the 1950s, with the most famous of them all being the Shelby AC Cobra. Now, the AC Cobra went on to become the basis for the Daytona and also the Cobra logo that can be found here on this GT500. Now, this Cobra logo tells everybody that this is no ordinary Ford Mustang. In fact, this is the most powerful Mustang ever built, and it's also the most expensive. How much, you ask? Well, the retail price for this Shelby GT500 is 7,760,000 Philippine pesos. Now, I know that seems a bit pricey, but considering that this GT500 can pace a more exotic European luxury car on the track, like let's say a Lamborghini Huracan Evo, well, I'd say that this 7.7 million asking price is practically a steal. Now, when you look at the front clip, you can immediately tell that this is a special Mustang. Aside from that Cobra badge front and center, it also gets a larger front grille here that feeds cool air into that massive supercharged engine. Now, the GT500 gets uprated oil, differential, and transmission coolers in case you want to take this beast on the track anytime. Now, the GT500 also comes with this front splitter with a Shelby name on it for better aerodynamics, plus we also have full LED lighting units here. Now, this GT500 also comes with functional heat extractors on the hood because that supercharger can get pretty hot. We also have a pair of hood pins here to keep the hood in place in case you reach the top speed of the GT500, which stands at 290 kilometers per hour. Now, the color of this example here is what Ford calls Grabber Yellow, which is a new color for 2021, but it's also an homage to the Grabber Mustangs that were introduced in 1970. Now, being a Grabber Mustang, it also comes with a pair of black racing stripes here, right down the center of the car. On the side, the GT500 gets a bunch of upgrades over a regular Mustang GT Premium. It gets a more aggressive side skirt here for better aerodynamics. It also has a larger set of 20-inch blacked-out flow-formed alloy wheels, and these wheels are wrapped in 305/30s up front and 315/30s at the back. Now, the braking duties is handled by a 6-pot or 6-piston Brembo brake setup, and for the suspension, well, the GT500 rides on Ford's MagneRide adaptive dampers suspension, which adjusts the suspension tuning of this thing depending on your driving conditions. Here at the back, the GT500 gets a typical Mustang rear end, except of course we get some more go-fast bits and goodies here. The GT500 gets an aggressive black wing here that adds more downforce on the car, and it also has a set of quad functional exhaust pipes, which I'm sure would sound absolutely glorious, guys. However, we don't really have the clearance to start this thing here inside the showroom, so, well, too bad. Anyway, the GT500 still has a Cobra badge right here at the center of your rear trunk lid, just in case the people that you pass on the freeway are wondering what sort of car just blasted by them. Now, when you pop open this trunk, you'll see that the GT500 has a typical Mustang trunk, which means that you can fit a week's worth of groceries here. Now the good thing there is this thing is a 2+2 seating configuration, so you can also tumble down the back seats in case you're loading longer items, like let's say a pair of golf bags. Now it's time for the main event. The Shelby GT500 is equipped with the most powerful engine ever put in a production Mustang. This is a 5.2-liter supercharged V8 engine that is codenamed the Predator. Now this Predator engine can produce 760 horsepower and 847 Newton meters of torque. Now all of that power can be sent to the rear wheels via a 7-speed Tremec dual clutch transmission. Now the Shelby GT500 doesn't get a manual transmission option, but it doesn't really matter because that 7-speed Tremec dual clutch, that is pretty fantastic. Now other go-fast goodies, performance goodies put in this GT500 includes a carbon composite drive shaft which allows for faster revs, and it also has a Torsen limited slip rear differential for sharper cornering. Now all of these performance bits and goodies put together means that this Shelby GT500 is one capable track machine. In fact, it was even able to best a Lamborghini Huracan Evo in Motor Trend's All-Stars contest. Now, 0 to 60 miles per hour can be done in as quick as 3.4 seconds, all the way up to a top speed of 180 miles per hour or 290 kilometers per hour. Okay, guys. So, the cockpit layout of the Shelby GT500 is pretty similar to a regular Mustang GT Premium, although we do get some performance bits and goodies here inside as well. Now, the seats are also Recaro seats, but these seats are finished in a combination of leather and Miko suede. We also have some white inserts here for that added racing touch. Now, these seats are also manually adjustable, so it's going to be easy for the rear passengers to get in and out of this vehicle. Now, the steering wheel is also a combination of leather and Alcantara, plus we have a white centering strip right there in the middle, and we also have a pair of magnesium paddle shifters hiding behind the wheel. Now, the buttons on the steering wheel are also, well, standard Ford. We get hands-free buttons for connectivity and buttons for your cruise control. Now, the wheel also adjusts for tilt, and it also telescopes. Yeah, so finding that perfect racing position is going to be a cinch in this Shelby GT500. Now, when you look at the instrument gauge cluster here, this is a pretty typical Mustang GT Premium setup. It's the same digital layout here, and it also changes whenever you change the drive modes of the Shelby GT500. Now, what I like about this car though is when you go over to the center panel here, you'll see that in between the AC vents, we've got a couple of gauges that show you two vital information, especially when you're doing a track day. You get the oil pressure gauge and an oil temperature gauge. These are the vital information that you need to know whenever you're pushing the Shelby GT500 to its limit. Yeah, if you have the balls to push it to its limit. Anyway, guys, moving from there, we have the usual infotainment system here from Ford. We have an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Ford's Mustang 3. It also has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a reverse camera, which is pretty usable, guys, because, well, that back window there is kind of on the small side. Now, from there, you go down to a fully automatic dual zone climate control system here. And you also have your push start button here, plus a set of toggle switches that controls, well, traction control, the exhaust volume, and also your drive modes. And from there, we have here a rotary, well, gear shifter, which looks like the same that we saw in the Ford Expedition. It's not really a big problem, guys, because, well, we do have a set of magnesium paddle shifters behind the wheel. Now, what's a big problem, though, for me, at least for me, is the fact that we get an electronic park brake here. Now, this is a proper rear-wheel drive performance beast. And as such, it should come with a manual handbrake. Now, the Mustang GT Premium that I reviewed before had a manual handbrake, so I have no idea what that thing is doing here. An electronic parking brake belongs in a crossover, not in a supercar eating performance beast from Ford. Anyway, guys, moving forward, we also have a couple of cup holders here that I was subject to my clean canteen test. All right. Well, this is a Ford, guys, so yeah, the Shelby GT500's cup holders passes my clean canteen test with ease, guys. Now, when you look at the whole cabin layout here, the whole cockpit, we've got a good amount of soft touch materials. We've got some leather on the top of the dashboard, leather wrapping in the inserts of your door cards, and also some leather here at the sides. It's all good, guys, and we even have some white strips found here at the sides of the center tunnel for that added racing touch. Now, this GT500 also comes with an aluminum trim that is exclusive only to the GT500s. And this aluminum trim surrounds your instrument gauge panel. And we also have, of course, the badge on the front passenger side that tells you that this is a GT500 and what kind of a chassis number we have here. Of course, I'm going to blot that out. So yeah, everything here just looks straightforward performance, guys. Nothing here to distract you from what you're doing behind the wheel, which is driving this thing at the limit, clipping those apexes, and hitting the top speed every chance you get. Safely, of course. The Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 is one special car. It's the only Ford Mustang left standing with a Cobra badge on it because Ford has decided to retire the Shelby GT350. It can match a Lamborghini or a Porsche in terms of overall performance, but at less than half the asking price of these luxury European exotics. Now, the best part there is it can also ferry 4 passengers plus some of their luggage. Now, that, my friends, is what I call a practical performance machine. Thanks for watching.